Good evening, my yogi friends. My name is Crystal. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Hoping you just had the most spectacular day and ready to unwind. I invite you, if you have hot tea, any aromatherapy, really use this opportunity as a wind down moment. So you might see I have my pillow here. I'm not going to take a nap, but we are going to use a pillow in this evening's wind down practice. So if you, and I'll put that in the comments, making sure that you have a pillow to prepare you for this practice. So you'll want to get your pillow, start to incorporate it. I have a long one this evening. You can find any pillow that works. You're going to come onto your knees. We're going to start in a child's pose. So this is very much a restorative style practice. Just gives you a little extra oomph. You feel loved and supported by your pillow. You're going to come to a child's pose. My knees are just on either edge of my pillow here. I'm going to start to sink forward. I'm going to share with you, I'm resting my forehead on my pillow here. Arms are extended. If it feels better to turn your head one direction versus keeping your forehead down, know that that's an option for you. Really finding stillness, your physical body, but also stillness of the mind. Embracing these moments of pause. Start to walk your hands back towards your body. So we move to our next shape. You're going to come to a sleeping swan or pigeon, as many of you know. You can transition there from a tabletop. So once you get to all fours or tabletop, you're going to start to straighten your left leg ever so slightly, sliding your right knee up towards your wrist. Options here. Sometimes people like to put that pillow right there, giving them a little space, little support underneath your right hip. Otherwise, as you start to lower, and come onto your pillow and find rest, support, lifts you a little bit off the ground. You're not lowered all the way, making this a more restorative shape. Making sure when you're in these shapes that you don't hold your breath, that you continue to breathe. Slowly walk your hands up here. I always encourage you to take a breath when you get to the top. Really feel the sensations. You're going to come to a seat, swing your legs out in front. You're going to come to a supported wide leg fold here. So bringing your legs out fairly wide as feels good to you this evening. And I'm going to place my pillow in the middle. So you also are always welcome, if you need more support, to double it up. So I'm going to double mine up to begin. Hands behind my bum as I find length here for a breath or so. And then bring your arms up and over. Your knees are facing the ceiling or the sky, toes to the ceiling or sky, and then start to fold. Again, option for you to fold that pillow or bring it a little bit further down. And just staying in each of these shapes for about a minute or so. And slowing your heart rate. When we lower your heart rate, we have the ability to lower your cortisol levels. Brings about more restful sleep. And just really settling in for the evening. Use your pillows, start to walk your hands up. Pause at the top here. Release a breath. We'll take our pigeon or sleeping swan to the left side. I'm going to turn the opposite direction so you can see the other side. But we'll start in our tabletop, coming to all fours here. Right leg just starts to extend. Sliding my left knee up towards my left wrist. Right leg is straight behind. Feels good to lift here, finding even a little arch of the back. And grab your pillow wherever you're using it for support tonight. And then lower. You're welcome to close your eyes in each of these stretches, these yin postures, whatever you want to call them this evening. Also know that you can pause these videos and stay in them for a true yin if you have more time. I'm just using these as a guide. You listen to the sound of your breath. Find stillness, silence of the mind. And slowly start to walk your hands up. And take that pause. And come onto your seat. Face the front of your mat here. I'm just gonna butterfly out my feet, or my knees, excuse me, bringing my feet together. Just get a little opening at the hip. We'll start to move to a different shape here. So you're gonna come to the top of your mat. We're coming to a skink shape. So you're coming to your belly. The supported version here is bringing this underneath my armpits. Elbows are in line with my shoulders, tops of my feet. I'm pressing the tops of my mat. It's not an overly active or engaged shape, but you do want to be mindful so your shoulders don't roll forward. Nice long neck without any strain. And start to notice the sensations, the compression in your lower back. And sending your breath there. Again, I always always invite you to close your eyes so you can look and turn within. Turning that gaze inward. Press your arms, palms up, straightening your arms. If you need a little extra stretch of your lower back, be mindful that your back's ready for that. Scoot your pillow aside. Just lower onto your belly. Just take a breath or so. Feel the sensations. Now you're gonna roll onto your back. You're gonna get your pillow again, coming to a supine twist. So as you twist, I'm rolling to my left side so you can see. I'm just placing the pillow in between here. Still have my shoulders onto my mat, just the pillows in between my knees. Your body and mind, breath deserve this respite, this restoration. Our bodies, they heal when we rest. That's why it's so important to find these moments of stillness. Notice my shoulders are still touching the mat. I turn my chin towards my right shoulder because that feels good to me. You're always welcome to find what is good and works for you. And we'll take our twist to the other side. I am going to find a little movement here in between switching sides. I always like to do this between twists just to give a release in my lower back. And find a windshield wiper motion, gently controlled side to side. You're just gonna take your spinal twist to the other side. I'm just gonna switch directions so you can see pillows between my knees. But I'm twisting my spine. Shoulders are on the mat. Notice I'm not in a fetal position. I'm truly twisted here. I have my chin turned towards my left shoulder because that's what's working in my body tonight. These shapes and your mind starts getting busy and noisy and ready to move, it's a great opportunity to focus on your breath. Maybe you turn on a meditation playlist. Slowly start to release on this side. Again, I'm just going to set my pillow aside, finding that windshield wiper motion side to side. I'm going to come to a seat here. I'm just coming to all fours. I'm going to come into something called puppy dog or melting heart, just for a little upper back and shoulder. I'm going to bring my pillow just along the edge here. So the big difference with this versus child's pose, my bum is going to stay elevated and I'm just melting my heart down towards my pillow or the mat if you're not using a pillow. Really feel this in my upper back. You may saw I did prayer hands over my head, sometimes just getting that little extra shoulder. Start to press up. Your final shape is going to be on your backs. So I'm going to have my pillow on the long edge of my spine, coming about here, and letting my bum hang off the edge of my pillow. And I'm going to butterfly out my knees, my hands. You can place your hands wherever you like them. Either by your side, maybe one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly, maybe overhead. You find what works for you. Close your eyes and settle into this posture. Follow the journey of your breath in through your nose and back out. Just stay here for a few more moments. Eventually, you're going to make your way into Savasana, which is our final rest. Close your knees together like a book. Just roll off your pillow gently. I'm going to come into a more restorative Savasana, facing my pillow underneath my knees. Maybe it feels good underneath your neck. You find what works for you. It's your practice. You're your own best teacher. Everything I give to you is an offering. But once you find your Savasana, I encourage you to place the backs of your hands on your mat or the floor. Take a scan from the crown of your head to your toes. See, See where you can soften let everything just melt and surrender to your mat. Take rest. My yogi friends, thank you so much for your practice this evening. Much love and gratitude to each and every one of you. Good night. Namaste.